Hey guys, today, it's not really a channeled message, it's more kind of a video journal update on my experiences so far. But it does have a message relating, so don't think I'm just sitting here yapping. Well, I guess I kind of am, but... I feel like talking about twin flames, okay? I'm going through it. I've been going through it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what I'm saying, alright? Like I say in most of my videos, the disclaimer, anything I say is based off my personal experience and my personal perception. I am not a doctor, I am not a physicist, I am not a PhD, anything. I am just a man with a phone who has really good perception. Reception. I've noticed the twin flame patterns in my life. Now, some lifetimes you don't have to or you don't get to experience such a thing. And I don't just mean romantic twin flame. It's not all romantic. Basically, in my mind, what a twin flame is a soul that holds lessons in resonance to your soul. So, for instance, and I absolutely hate talking about this because I feel back crap crazy, but you guys are just going to have to deal with it. Recently, upon my awakening, I have found one of my past lives. OSIRIS, the Egyptian god of death. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm no longer going to be Adam? No. We'll talk on another topic about this one, but I do feel like you have to be careful with energies and deities and stuff like that, because it is possible to be possessed by the energy. So in my mind, the way it works, I don't know if it's possible to be possessed by your past lives, but like say if I talk with deities, like say Lucifer, it is possible for him to try to invade me. We'll get on that here in a second. However, if it's your past life, I don't think they actually can steal your consciousness or your body. Because it's just you. It's just you, you know? So in my mind, how I feel is, we're going to go along the lines of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was an anime show back in the 90s when this kid found a ancient artifact that held a ancient pharaoh spirit inside of it. And the way it worked is whenever he activated the magic, he swapped places. The personalities changed. It was actually a spirit inside of his puzzle and inside of his artifact. And he could actually actively talk to it and trade positions with it. Never did they ever integrate and become one. Now they did resonate, where they kind of became each other, but they never became one entity. Now me, having that past life energy is embodying it. I am Adam, but I am also Osiris. What that means is Adam gets to have the knowledge from my past life, from my time as being a king. All that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that, every energy, basically, was downloaded into me. Slowly but surely. I do have a few memories here and there. Nothing concrete, nothing serious. But it's mainly energy. I get the feeling. I feel like I'm a part of this, or I feel like I'm embodying the energy. So, during this reading, Osiris, I'm going to embody your energy. Ooh, tingly. Because it's come to realization that one of my twin flames, I believe, is from that era. Now, I need to do more research. I guess I don't really need to do the research, I could just ask. But my story, Osiris' story, was he was a king of Egypt. He was a pharaoh. But of course, power corrupts. Didn't corrupt him, corrupted his friend. His friend betrayed him over the throne. His closest advocate, that's not the word I wanted to use, but his friend, his best friend, and his trusted advisor, that's the word. His trusted advisor betrayed him. All out of a spiel just to get power. Well, that energy has been embodying within my life time and time and time again. I always get this best friend energy, this male energy, masculine energy comes into my life and ends up being my best friend. The one person I pour all of my energy into. It's like we're best friends. I hang out with you. I don't have a circle. Being a king, being a select individual who is not necessarily isolates himself, but isolated from the world, in a sense, you don't really have a big circle. You don't feel like you have a lot of people you can trust. So you let in a few, only a few. And you say, I trust you alone. But when you trust wholeheartedly, with all of your fiber and being. And that is why the betrayal hurts so much more. I poured myself into that relationship. I loved him. Like a brother. And I know he loved me too. And decisions were made. Things happen. However, I have been mad this entire time. I have been angry. And I have not forgiven you. And in fact, that's part of the reason I believe he has been bouncing back into my life. Is A, he's trying to teach me the lesson that he holds. The lesson of forgiveness. I have been holding on to this grudge for millenniums. And although every time he comes back into my life as that twin flame, all he does is repeat the pattern of hurt and betrayal. Now, most 3D people would be like, I don't understand, why is this happening to me? This continues to happen, I continue to have people in my life that hurt me. I was just like that. I get it. Now, I see the pattern. The pattern is forgiveness. Is to let go of the pain and the hurt that is causing the pattern and allowing trust to flow once more. Sure, trust sucks. It really hurts when you put yourself into someone else and they withdraw it and betray you. Because I feel that energy. This twin flame that I've had, I know for a fact, because like for instance, one of my most recent ex-twin flame friends was doing that. He was using my energy. He was using my power. I'm a streamer in this world. In this lifetime, I'm a streamer. And we would play video games together. Well, since we were playing video games together, I always stream. If I'm playing a game, I typically just stream it. Because I'm there. I'm playing it. You might as well. So I would always do that. And we would stream together. It got to the point he actually started streaming with me. And I was actually getting jealous of him. Because during our time when we would stream, I'd be super energetic and happy and fun, and I would be, I would be me. And he would be mirroring my energy. And we would have fun. But he's getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in his stream, and I've got 0. I'm just like, that really bugs my ego. I don't understand. We're both doing the same thing. We're both giving the same amount of energy. We're both playing the same fucking game. It's like, why is he getting more views? Why is he getting more recognition? Why is he getting seen and I am not? Well, I had realized he was siphoning off my energy. Because whenever I wasn't streaming with him, he was the complete opposite. He was quiet. He was angry. You could tell the vibes. Like, all you heard was, but then when he's with me, his streams are completely different. In fact, I started noticing a trend that he wouldn't stream unless he was streaming with me. So I stopped. Okay? That has been one of the reoccurring themes in my life. Is to learn how to trust and forgive. Because he has continuously showed up in my life. time and time again, every time he has betrayed me. Is it perhaps because I betrayed myself? Or is it perhaps because I betrayed him first? Maybe there was something I didn't do in our friendship that made him feel this way. Maybe I hurt you first. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. Maybe your ego just got the better of you, and you made a bad decision. And you've been ruminating it, just like I have been ruminating too. And you've been trying to come back into my life to ask for forgiveness. You want me to forgive you. I forgive you, and I forgive myself. However, next time you come into my life, do know, I will not tolerate any shenanigans. I'm fine with people coming into my life. I actually welcome it. However, due to the trauma, due to the abuse, I have learned that it's not okay. As I've been talking about in some of my past videos, I do not feel safe. Because I have been going through and digging up all of my life. This lifetime and past lifetimes. For instance, this story keeps coming up, so I'm supposed to share it. The reason authenticity and trust is so important to me is because I've never truly felt like I could trust. I've always just wanted that trust in someone else. However, the problem is I have to look within myself. It is because I don't trust myself. But now I do. And that is why I'm allowing this energy back into my life, because now I trust myself. If it is not for me, I will know. And I will not let it into my life. So any energy that is going to come into my life, do note, I value authenticity above all else. Even if it hurts, even if it sucks, alright? Lying, just betrayal, it's all coming from a state of fear. I understand you don't want to get in trouble. I understand you don't want me to think bad of you. I understand you don't want me to be disappointed in you. Wow, that was... I've started seeing the duality, and that is why I'm willing to forgive. Because the duality inside of myself. I am not perfect. I am far from it. In fact, in my mind, the very fact that I've been on this earth and reincarnated so many times is actually reaffirmation of how much work I have been doing. I am the furthest from perfect. However, it has come to my knowledge that I do not forgive myself. I hold on to these mistakes, I claim, the choices I've made that didn't turn out like I wanted them to. I hold on to them and I beat myself up. And I do not forgive myself for the things I have done. So first it starts with forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself. Alright? So I accept my part. Whatever twin flame energy, I accept my fault in our relationship. But at the same time, I know and trust myself well enough I will not fall for the same things. And since we're on that twin flame energy, there's the second one. I do also have a romantic twin flame in my energy. And it's been bouncing back and forth. It's another one of those energies that I've had throughout my life. And every time it fails, every time it breaks, every time I entertain this energy, my heart gets broken. However, it just took now to realize why. Last night, when my heart broke, I stopped it. Anytime I got betrayed, or felt like I was betrayed, I closed off my heart. I would put myself out there. I would try to make a best friend. I would try to make a girlfriend or a partner or whatever. And then the twin flame energy would get drawn back in to teach me these lessons. To be like, okay, if that is what you want, here is your lesson. I am here for you as a lesson. Okay. However, I did not perceive it as that. I perceived it as trauma, as victim mentality. Why is this happening? My romantic twin flame made a mistake. I allowed myself to get into the energy. It's like I was saying before, I have been afraid to put myself 100% into something. Whether it be because I fail, whether I get judged, whether someone tries to use it against me. I have been afraid to put myself wholeheartedly into anything from fear of betrayal, from fear of getting hurt, from fear of not trusting and believing in myself. So what I do is when they hurt me, is I run away. I have been abused mentally for years, physically only for a couple. Because luckily, being a strong masculine presence, it gets to a point, the physical abuse stops. You don't get to touch me. I never touched him back, tell you that, as much as I wanted to. But there does come a time you don't get to touch me. Anyways. So due to the physical abuse and the mental abuse, the trauma is still set. So love is trying to get into my life. But guess what? Love can hurt. To truly come back to love, you must work through the pain and the hurt in the love that you have. So because there has been a history of hurt and love in my life, I have to heal that first. Or the love that's coming into my life will help me heal it. One of the two. Not that I'm expecting them to, but if that is their purpose, that is their purpose. Perhaps they were meant to come in and teach me the lesson of actually how to love. But I'm getting energy readings from other tarot readers and because we are not in direct communication, we are talking through energy. Because it's not time to be in direct communication. However, I'm still getting signals, messages, and interactions on what's going on her end, just like she's getting it on mine. She made a mistake. And now I have the choice to run away or to forgive her and try again. This has been one of the hardest things for me, as I just got done saying trust, is because the patterns continued, because I didn't learn the lesson, I actually physically continued the abuse myself. And what I mean is, because I didn't take acknowledgement of the patterns, they continued to repeat. Now this really sucks. Nobody wants to hear this. But as of this point, you are doing it to yourself. Because now I know better. I know, not better, it's just I recognize these patterns. And if I don't go out of my way to fix it, nothing will get changed. And not necessarily fix it, just acknowledge it and integrate it. She made a mistake. So now, do I let the abuse scare me away and say, oh God, I can't love her because she hurt me? Or do I forgive her and forgive myself and trust myself that it's okay? Because honestly, I can't be mad. My twin flames, I thank you. You've actually been doing your job beautifully. Despite me realizing that, despite me acknowledging and thinking and being grateful, I have been bitter and angry at you. Thank you. Thank you. I have forgiven you, and I thank you. Please, I ask for your forgiveness in return. I have to remember, we are all human. Even if technically we're not, we're all human. We make mistakes. Like I said, the only reason I stopped letting people back in is because I continued to let the abuse go on. I would let them back in my life, and then I would let them continue to abuse me. So now the fear is stopping me saying, no, what if you let that person back in and they abuse you again? Now the question is, no. What if I let that person back in and I don't let them abuse me again? I don't have to stay in a relationship If it's not for me, if this person comes into my life, my twin flame, and it turns out we still don't resonate, tough shit. You're out. I'm out. I don't care. I'm not tolerating this. But I need to be open and willing to not tolerate, but be open to it. Because I have completely closed myself off to both sides. You don't get to close the gate on one. Because I am scared of love hurting me and bringing in pain, I have closed myself off to the good and the bad. And now, like I said, I have to ask, am I willing to forgive them and let them back in my life and try again? Knowing that we are both very different people. And I can feel it. I can feel the tightness in my chest. It hurts. It's unsettling. I don't even know if it's mine or hers. Part of me gotta wonder if she's tapping into the message and feeling what I'm feeling. She feels the turmoil of me wrestling with this decision. And that's also quite daunting. Because I'm trying to sit here and make a decision, you can feel someone in the background just like, what is he gonna pick? What is he gonna pick? I'm like, I can feel you, you know that, right? Like, I know you're here. Shoot. I feel your presence. Do you forgive them or do you forget them? The problem is, I already know I need to forgive. It's not a problem at all. It's because that was the pattern I did. I ran away every time. I would not forgive them. I would get scared and run off and say, oh, that person's an abusive, and I can't be around them. And then I would go find the next person, and then they would hurt me. It's like, oh, they're abusive. And then finally at some point I just stop. I'm like, maybe this time it's not actually abuse. Maybe this time someone just made a mistake. Because like I said, I understand the duality too. Like my father. Let's go with this. My father is actually one of my primary abusers. In all my lifetimes. Both my mom and my dad. That is not just this lifetime. They have been abusive throughout many of my lifetimes. As most parents are to most of their kids. So I'm relaying this story. I don't even know why I'm fucking relaying the story. It's the showing of not feeling safe, not blah blah blah. I'm just gonna say it. This is one of the biggest moments in my life as to why, like, it keeps coming up. I was in middle school, and I was in 8th grade. And I had this emo friend, most people in 8th grade, and middle school, high school, they're all mostly emos. It was just the generation. But this guy actually did have mental health issues. Like, he would cut himself, he would self-inflict harm, and had a psychiatrist. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just, this was the person he was. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to drive a point home. Okay? Well, he was my friend on my bus, and we would talk all the time, and I would consult in him. I would confide and be his friend. And I'd be like, yo, man, I'm really struggling with this. And he made a joke. He goes, why don't you just go to the library, rip up a couple of books, and just burn the whole school down? I'm just like, yeah, I don't really think that would work. Well, the next day I get called into the principal's office. Adam, do you know why you're here? No. We're going to suspend you. What? Why? Well, 2 kids on the bus heard you over talking about trying to burn the school down. And now they called the cops, and they're not letting their kids come into school. And now we're suspending you for a few days. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This moment holds a special place in my heart because I have yet to let it go. When I got home, for the next 5 hours, and then a break, and then the next 5 more hours, I was screamed at continuously. Because the principal had called my dad and told him the exact same story. I don't know what's going on. I literally have no clue. But my dad is forcing me to sit in a chair at 3 o'clock in the morning staring at a computer screen while he screams at me, "You're fucked up in the head, why are you trying to kill yourself? You're going to tell me what the hell is wrong, or I'm going to send you to a mental institution." I'm in 8th grade. So I opened up and I told him. Nothing happened. You know what they did the next day? They bought me a puppy. That they eventually took away. Due to no fault of my own. I understand if it's something like I was a bad kid and I made a punishment. No, we moved. And they're like, oh, you don't get to keep your dog. I'm just like, so the dog you gave me when I was suicide. Then you got moments like these where you go back into your life. And that is the point of the shadow work. That is the point of all of this. Is so these patterns come to present. That is why I don't feel safe. There is more than that. But it's like realizing this. I did not feel safe. Anytime I opened up, I got screamed at, even if I told the truth, even if I lied. Anytime I was given something, I was taken away. Well, at least that's how I felt. So the whole point of this video, you're safe. You're safe. Be grounded in yourself, the person you are today. You are safe. And if you've acknowledged it in your heart, the person I am today is the person that would have defended the younger me. That is the validation I was looking for. That is the person you want love from. You're okay. Because look at you. I never wanted to show vulnerability. I was always taught scars were not something you shown. Because I have met lots of people who wear them on their sleeve like a badge of honor. Look at me, look at me, look at all that I've gone through. And I get it. I was exactly the same way. You do that because you want to be seen. You want someone to acknowledge the pain that you're going through. You want help. It is a cry to the universe to say, please, make it stop. But then the universe responds in kind. Okay, then stop it. I'm not going to tell you on the video. I'm going to make the decision in my heart. Whether I'm willing to forgive and move forward or whether I'm not. But I want you to make that decision for yourself. Because do note this. Forgiving does not mean tolerating. You can forgive them. You can let them go. But you do not let it happen again. If they come back, if somebody does come back into your life, and they are still toxic, you can forgive them, but you let them go. Be like, you know what? Yeah, we're cool, but we're not cool. I can't do this anymore. I don't resonate with you. So you're either, you know what? If you want to be in my life, step the fuck up. That's what I'm asking. That is why I am alone. Is because I will not tolerate anything less than authentic. if you are going to be in my life, you better damn well show you need to be. I'm not saying you gotta go out of your way and prove yourself to me, but do note, the fool cannot be fooled. Like I said, I am confident in myself and my abilities as of this point. I can tell you, I will not fall for the same games. I will not entertain the same energies like I did before. I will forgive, and I will be open, and I will let people into my life. But that does not mean I will open the door just for you to walk all over me. No more. Now, that does not mean I will not let people in my life. That just means if you're going to be in my life, then expect shadow work to be done. Okay? I'm not saying you need to be doing shadow work as a requirement to be my friend. But if you're not on a journey of healing and self-growth, I don't want to be a part of it. Plain and simple. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm not tolerating it, and I'm not doing this 3D crap no more. These low frequencies, these low vibrations, I have been moving out of them, and I don't want to be in it anymore. I refuse. In fact, I thought becoming spiritually awakened meant being more open and tolerating everything and being okay with the good and the bad. And yes, that is definitely partially true. But actually, I find out the more spiritually attuned I get, the less I'm actually willing to tolerate in my life. The more I'm finding out, you know what? I don't like this, I don't like that, and I don't like this. So you know what? It's not going to be in my reality. And if that comes in the form of people, then so be it. Did you catch me, Twin Flame? Any of my twin flames. If you want to be in my life, step the hell up. You know what? It is a requirement. It is a requirement to be my friend. You have to be this tall.